Hey, 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 Facebook. We are live. I am so thrilled to pieces to be here on this beautiful Sunday. And I have, uh-oh, I had to stop and think. I have Dr. Michael Gross with me. We love doing these Sunday Facebook Lives, and we are also now being live on YouTube. So if you're not on Facebook, you're not going to hear this, but it's also up on YouTube. And we'll be posting this also on Dr. Michael's Facebook page because the more the merrier, right? When you see it. Michael has an amazing message for us today. And if you're out and about and enjoying the sunshine, that's okay because on Facebook, things stay live. Even when they're not live anymore, we're still here. So, on that note, I asked him to pick the topic, which he usually does anyway. But this one kind of blew me away. I thought, oh, this is going to be an incredible um, Facebook Live with a powerful message. But before I go into that, have you ever really thought about the fact that life isn't linear? When I was going through the whole 9 to 5 work thing, it wasn't really all 9 to 5. It's more like 7 to whenever. Um, I always thought that life happens when you retire. Then you get to actually party and do all the other cool stuff. What I didn't know was that I was kind of shortchanging myself. Life actually is every minute of every day. When you wake up in the morning, be grateful because we never know what happens tomorrow. So, on that note, that's my segue for you, Michael. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. But before I do, I want you to know that Michael is the author of this amazing book, The Spiritual Primer. And it's reflecting a little bit. I hope you guys can see that. There you go. An amazing book. I highly recommend it. Okay. And we're going to put all the links in the comments below after this live. And I'm going to just go ahead and introduce you to the most amazing man I've ever met in my whole life. He's changing so many lives, and I'm so glad he's here gracing the Facebook Live with me. Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, healer, spiritual counselor, and a teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self-empowerment, helping them to create the lives they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self-empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. In concert with God, the True Source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. Trust me, I've heard some of those healings, and it would blow your mind when you find out these amazing stories he's got. Okay, back to his intro. I got sidetracked. He remains humble, knowing the work he does all comes from God, the True Source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and I am thrilled to say that he has just launched his nonprofit called the International Institute of Self-Empowerment. I can't wait for him to share a little bit more about all the things that he offers us. And I'm going to go ahead and give the floor, the stage, whatever you want to call it, to Dr. Michael Gross. I got it right.
Well, congratulations to you. I know your book is at the editor. It's going for its final revision. And I know the next step is with the book designer then to be printed and published. So congratulations. It's quite a feat. And I had the joy and honor of sharing with you when she finally sent it off to the editor for the final revision. And she was so excited. And I know that feeling. And, when we have a great accomplishment like TU is, we feel lots of joy and happiness. So tip my hat to you. Congratulations. I wanted to talk to every one of you tonight about life, L-I-F-E, of course. And as Tio had a great segue saying it is not linear, and you're certainly right. And one of my mottos in life, and I'll repeat this, you've heard it before, if you don't know where you're going, you can't get lost. And certainly that's been the story of my life. And when we look at our lives, L-I-F-E, let inner values evolve. L-I-F-E, let inner values evolve. And if we understand that, what is our value system? Well, we have 2 value systems. One is ego-ridden, which is materialistic, seeking recognition, seeking kudos, whatever our ego, excuse me, whatever our ego so desires. And then we have that other part, which is I call soul guidance or true inner source guidance, which is working within your soul. But before I delve into that, I would like you to understand that you chose to be here. Each one of you chose to incarnate, which is an honor. Because I want everyone to understand that this is a very dense emotional planet in the universe. We are the third densest emotional planet in the universe. Wow. So that says that we came here for several reasons. And a lot of souls, believe it or not, will not incarnate on this planet because of the heavy, dense emotional energies that exist. But I honor all of you because you chose to be here. And you chose to be here because perhaps there's some karma that needs to be cleared. Karma is, remember, just an experience, challenging or rewarding or both. Because even through challenges, we get and obtain great rewards. Because when you overcome a challenge, it no longer is in your life, but you learn something. And also, I'd like you all to understand that you are here because you are to make a difference. And at this time, you not only are to make a difference, but you're the solution. And as I look at the planet right now, and all the emanations that's going on, I read about the cancel culture and the woke and all this stuff. And I would like each one of you to understand, and I want to remind you that you are created out of love, by love, and from love, and with love. Whether you want to accept that or not, the truth will stand. And when the truth stands, it is immutable. It cannot be changed. One of the reasons we're all here is at this time that the planet is under crisis. And if we understand the planet is under crisis, we can see all the chaos that's going on. But there was another student of mine, and he and I were working together, and I shared with him how he can leave his body and look at things from a distance. So we both went up, left our bodies, and we're looking down at Mother Earth. And we're higher than the moon. I know that sounds hard to understand. But once you achieve it, it's a piece of cake and you understand it easily. But what we saw was a lot of red energy, which is frustration and anger, orange, hate, a lot of black, negative energies, a lot of interference from outside, like extraterrestrials, a lot of issues of control, dark energy, and even death energy. And we work in concert with the true source. And he and I worked together and asked to be a conduit to clear it. And it started to clear, it came back. We started to clear, it came back. We cleared it finally partially. My message is that we have to change. Now, how does that relate to your life? Let inner values, let life, right? Let it. Let within you the change, because you are the force of change. And if we understand you are the force of change, we need to look at your life. Now, we're all here to experience life, because you see, at the soul level, you can't experience a steak or a prime rib, one of my favorite foods, or even ice cream, or even a hug. You can't experience a hug when you're in your soul. You experience the most incredible love you can ever feel, but you won't be able to touch a human being or a baby or your pet or whatever it is. And my message is about life. We need to listen to our soul and to value life. But how do you value life? So many of my friends, and I have lots of friends and people from different walks of life. Some extremely wealthy, some are just, have an average income and are struggling along. In our struggles with life, because we all have struggles, whether it's financial, relationships, or whatever, we came here to learn about life. We came here to experience about life. And I want to draw a line and say to each one of you, whatever your age is, you have experienced life, the pros and cons. But through each experience, you learn to empower yourself. So let's look at that side. And all of us have been seduced, yes, seduced by our ego to have false beliefs, to make choices that serve our ego so we feel important or we feel accepted. And you can always tell a lot of people when you talk to them how insecure they are by how they try to outdo you. Oh, I got a new Chevy. Well, I got a new Cadillac or whatever. How they try to outdo you. Or you say you just you walked the 10 miles in 2 hours. Well, that's great. It's wonderful, Mike. Oh, I did it in 1 hour and 47 minutes. I mean, that's the way, the one-upmanship that I call that. And when I see people do that, I realize they're so insecure because they haven't found themselves. And part of my message about life is you are unique. You are a unique individual, which sets you apart because your experiences are your own. Believe it or not, you agree to them and you created them. And you're probably saying, why would I create that in my life? Something wrong with me? No, nothing wrong. It's to help you realize that you're more than just a human being. You know that trite cliche, you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And the truth is, you are. But I want to talk about the other side of your life, and that's your spiritual life. Not religiosity, but your spiritual side. And your spiritual side says, hey, wake up. You agree to all this. So how much time do you want to spend wallowing in pity in the mud? And how much time do you want to spend getting out of the mud, in the pity, and empowering yourself? And because what we think we create, we experience. Life is forever evolving. And it's evolving according to how you will allow your life to evolve. I bet you never really thought about it. Lots of people, when they're up to their heads, in mud and muck, they say, oh, I'm a victim. Nothing's gone right in my life. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, on and on and on. And yet, if you were to turn around and say, well, I created this, whether I like it or not, what am I supposed to learn from it? How can I change my life and have joy and happiness? Because you see, the soul's urge is for you to have love, joy, and happiness. And in our human condition, well, happiness is owning 27 houses and having 10 million in the bank. Joy is having all the toys I want. And happiness and love is whatever I think love should be. They should worship me or whatever. I should be treated like a king or a queen or respect my independence. First of all, there's no such thing as independence. And you're probably wondering, what? That's true. And the reason I'm saying that to each one of you is we're all an aspect part of the true source. Every one of us. No matter what your color is, your race is, no matter what your ethnic background is, we are all part of the one. I am just as much part of you as you are just part of me, and we all are part of the true source. So if we look at the true source as God the Father, God the Mother, whatever you want to call or jointly, what is the essence of the true source? It's unconditional love, allowingness, and non-judgmentalness. Think about that. Unconditional love and non-judgmentalness. Now, I know a lot of you have paid attention and listened to our wonderful podcasts. You've heard me say that a lot of times. But have you truly embraced it? Each of us have a mission and goal in our life, and we have chosen that. Let inner feelings evolve. And where does our feelings come from? Not from the ego, but from our heart. That's where it comes from. Are you listening to the thoughts of your soul and your heart? Because they really are one. And then I look at this planet. And I tell people, you are the solution. We can make a difference, and we are making the difference. And it's up to each one of us individually to gather together with one thought that we need to turn this planet into love. And the reason I'm pointing that out is we talk about life. Everything on this planet is an energy and vibration. And we are tuning in to that energy and vibration. Think about watching TV and you have your choices. Watch comedies, love stories, music, horror stories, action, whatever you want to watch. That's what you do. And think about when you're watching and a big storm comes, and perhaps if you have an antenna, you lose power, or the antenna breaks in wind, or if you're with Comcast or whatever your provider is, it breaks down, or your computer loses power because there's a lot of power outages and that you're no longer connected. And realize how you have placed your very essence on electronics and communication with electronics rather than communications by your thought with the God, the true source, or true sources, I call it, with one another and caring for one another. We've forgotten that. Now, I'm not saying the entire population has forgotten that, but that we have forgotten as individual what our purpose in life is. The purpose in life is to experience life to the fullest. The purpose in life is to heal our karma and to accept whatever karma we have created or brought into this lifetime to empower ourselves. Our purpose in life is to reconnect with the true source at a conscious level. Because at a spiritual level, at a soul level, we know that already, but we've forgotten it. And to all of you, get out of your ego. So important. Because you are a force of energy. You are so powerful in your life that you have created all the chaos, all the joy, and all the happiness. There's so many of you that are listening to this, and you've had great successes and great challenges. Notice the word challenges. I don't use the word failure. Where does that come from? Where does the success come from? Think about that. It comes from your soul. And those successes that come from your soul come from what I call the oversoul and the true source. What you don't realize is you're being guided. And you should never, ever doubt that you're not being guided. I talk to people, and I was working with one of my clients and helping her to understand about oneness and the power of becoming one with something. And she really, I embrace it, but I'm not too sure, Michael. And something miraculously happened with the true source guidance. Didn't come from Michael. All I asked was help her to understand. That's it. For at least 2 years. And she had to take her daughter who has allergies. And she took her to an allergist. And he said she has hay fever. And we're going to give her shots of hay fever. So she becomes one with it. And when you're one with something, it no longer affects you. And that's something I've been trying to share and teach for eons. Some of you know the story when I lived on the farm, we had a coal mine. And the water was like 37 degrees. I was in my, bathing suit. And the coal mine had a huge reservoir, 25,000 gallons, where we got our water. And a little dam in front of it had mold. I had to clean it out by hand with buckets of water. And my deceased wife said, "Oh, you're going to get cold. You're going to get sick." I said, yeah. And I became one with the water. And 3 hours later, she said, your feet aren't even blue. Normal color skin. And I never got sick. See, when you become one in life with negativity, all you do is draw it into your life over and over and over and over again. When you become one with love and joy and happiness, that's what you get. love and joy and happiness. And I want to expand that thought because love and joy and happiness says you will draw into your life everything that gives you love, joy, and happiness. Anything you can think of that gives you love, joy, and happiness, yep, that's what it is. You don't have to enumerate it. But as a human being, we have to enumerate, we have to be sure, and we have to check on it. And that's when we know our ego is in our lives controlling us. Because if you truly believed it, you wouldn't doubt it. And that's one of the lessons of life we are to learn. I'm just checking our clock. What time do we have?
We've got, we're at 20 minutes. You've got 10.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Take a moment to look at your life. Take a moment to understand your life. Take a moment to realize what you've created. Take a moment to look at what you've become subservient. Take a moment to what you've created that brings you love and joy and happiness. This is a time where we need to express our truth, not in an angry, upset way. But here's a little secret. When you express your truth to someone and they get angry and upset, you push their button because that's a fear that they have. You have done nothing wrong. And it's so important for you to look at it. And I remember one day my wife and I were talking, and she said, "You know, Michael, you do so many things you don't even know what you do." She said it that way. And I could have taken it as like, what am I, dumb or stupid? But I stopped and went, you know what? You're right. And I'm happy about that. You know why? Because my ego isn't in the way. I just do what true source inner guidance says to do. I don't need all the flags and platitudes and you're wonderful and great. I will admit it's nice to receive it. Makes your heart feel good. Because you see, in the field I'm in, and I had to learn this, was if then no one says thank you or shows gratitude, true source said, you did a good job, it worked. And if it didn't work, you would hear from them. I went, thank you, true source. I get it now. I don't need stroking. But once in a while, it'd be nice to hear something worked out well, but I get it. And so that's been the story of my life. And then when someone says something doesn't work, I used to have sympathy for them, but I've changed over the years. And I will look at them and say, I'm sorry, but what are you blocking? And then they blow up at me because they don't want to face their truth. And this is a time of seeking and trusting your truth. This is a time of standing up for your belief systems. This is a time for not living in fear. This is a sign of the times that we are to become more empowered, meaning reconnecting with the true source, reconnecting with our soul and oversoul, reconnecting with our missions and goals, reconnecting with the true source's unconditional love, reconnecting to heal and eliminate challenging karma and to accept positive karma. And also to listen to all who have things to say, all those who have thoughts to help you, and then discern if it's applicable to you. Maybe it is a year from now. Maybe it is right now. But listening to your thoughts is so important. Let inner feelings evolve. Remember that. Listen to those thoughts. Listen to those feelings. Because you know my mantra, you are unlimited. And I know we have a little bit more time left, but I want to also share with you once again that we did on the second Saturday of every month. We did the mass consciousness healing. Oh my goodness. The feedback that I got was so incredible. Energies were shifting, people were shifting. They saw this love on the planet. I want to thank all of you for doing the work of, by, and from with the true source. Thank you. And you know, one of my students called me. She said I couldn't be on it. But at 11:20, I felt a shift of energy. What did you do? Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. And other people have told me that. Even I felt the shift of energy. So nothing you do on a spiritual level is in vain. It works. And for those who didn't receive it, they eventually will. Or they're too analytical and logical and in their head and in their ego. But that's okay. That's where they need to be now until they awaken. And just to remind you, the second Saturday of every month, 9:55 Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time, we do that. And I hope all that are listening to this will seek it out. The next thing I'd like to share with all of you, I'm sure you know this, but this is going to be on YouTube. And that is, I have my Tuesday night call-in from 6:30 p.m. Pacific time to 7:30 p.m. And you ask questions about spirituality. And I have almost 200 10-minute messages, which you can tune into, but I'll be putting them on Facebook. For those who are new, call in. All you need to do is dial 515 604 9097. 515 604 9097. And the access code is 125 446 pound. And one other thought. Beginning April 14th, which is Tuesday evening, from 6:30 Pacific time to 8 p.m. Pacific time, I'm doing the 12 protocols for manifesting your life of your dreams. If you're interested, I have a few openings. It will change your life. It will create the life of your dreams if you follow the protocols. And the way to listen to it, the way to be part of it, is just go to my email, small case, Dr. Michael Gross 1 at gmail.com. Dr. Michael Gross, one word, number 1 at gmail.com. Thank you, Tio. I'm going to turn it over to you because I know we got a few minutes left. How much time do we have left?
Oh, we've got a couple minutes.
All right. Well, before I turn it over to you, whoop, brought it back. I want to thank all of you for being on this podcast. I wish to all of you to share this, to share it because we are the ones to make a difference. We are the solution. And the inhabitants on this planet cannot continue to go on the way it is right now. And all of you who are tuning in or will tune in, you are receiving a blessing from the true source. And that is because you have chosen to listen to these messages that are so important, not only from the true source that I share with you, but also the messages that Tiu shares with you in her beautiful book. Everyone, remember, you are unlimited. Tiu, go ahead. Would you like to sum it up?
I will, yes. Thank you so much, Michael. For those of you who aren't able to write everything down, it will be everything he just shared with you will be in the comments below. One more time, I'd like to just say there's also going to be a link in there where you can get his book. And, oh, there it is. And this one is on pre-sale. Okay, it's going to be out very, very soon. And I'm so blessed that Michael is on these Zooms, or not Zoom, Facebook Lives every Sunday. We come next Sunday, we have a very, very special surprise for you at 2:00. So make sure, because we have this one, I can't blow the surprise, okay? You'll just have to show up on Sunday at 2 because this is different and it's special and it's really, really powerful. On that note, I'd like to just go ahead and wrap this up. Thank everybody for your time on this sunny Sunday afternoon. And know that we are always working on enriching the lives of everyone here by sharing these powerful messages. And know that you are unlimited. Like Michael says, you are unlimited. And there is so much more to share. So make sure you pop in. We encourage you to go ahead and share this link with others. Michael has a lot of things coming down the pipeline. We've been talking a lot about the things he's planning on doing. So definitely, if you're not his friend on Facebook, you need to go over there and check his Facebook page. He has a bunch of amazing things on his business page as well as his personal page. So on that note, I want to thank Michael one more time for coming on and sharing your wisdom. Your manifestation class last year was amazing. And I had no idea back then the power of manifestation. But this past year, a lot of things have come true and they keep coming true. They keep getting better and better. So we are perfect where we are and we are ever growing more perfect. Right, Michael?
Absolutely. Well said. And thank you for your support to you. And thank you for the honor of being on this wonderful podcast. Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome. And one more time, thank you so much, Michael. We are going to sign off now. So have a happy Sunday and we will see you again next Sunday.